Hello everyone, welcome to the November 2017 edition of What's New in Search. Each month our team is going to be spending a bit of time with you all going over some new trends in the search industry. So that might be Google algorithm changes and updates, that might be SEO news, trends that we're seeing, new tips that we want to pass along, and just in general what our team has been focusing on lately. So let's dive into the November topics. What are we going to be looking at today? First, we'll be taking a look at the Google Mobile First Index and explaining a little bit about that. Second, we'll be diving into Google Posts and also looking at whether or not they can impact your rankings. And third, we'll be looking at Yelp, everyone's favorite platform, and we'll be talking about how they're increasingly cracking down on review solicitation in a number of ways. So let's dive into the first topic, the Google Mobile First Index. So this is a little bit old news at this point, but I think it's still worth sharing with the group here. At the end of October, at the SMX East conference, Google's Gary Illes announced to the crowd that the Mobile First Index had started to roll out. This caused a bit of panic and anxiety at first, as a lot of people in the industry had thought that was not going to start rolling out until early 2018. But it turns out there shouldn't be too much to worry about here. It is a change in the way Google indexes their listings, and we'll dive into what that means for everyone out there. But I don't think it should cause too much panic. It's just something to be aware of. So what does the Google Mobile First Index mean? For those that haven't heard about it yet, this means that Google will create and rank its search listings based on the mobile version of content. So mobile is key there. That's even for listings that are shown to desktop users. So regardless of where a user is searching on Google, Google will be using the mobile version of that site to serve up content. So rather than crawling the web from a desktop browser point of view, Google will start crawling sites from a mobile point of view. The other key point here is that mobile page speed will also be a factor. So Google will actually use the page speed of your mobile site to determine search rankings for both mobile and desktop. So if your mobile site happens to be slower than your desktop site, that could be a problem. Where Google is headed with this is that eventually there will just be one index for mobile and desktop searchers based on that mobile content that the crawlers can see. So why is Google making this change? Well, it's not that surprising. Google has always wanted to improve its index for searchers, and it wants its index and results to represent the majority of its users, who are now mobile searchers. In 2016, Google said that mobile searches now make up more than 50% of all searches on the web. And that number obviously has continued to increase over the last year. There's no doubt about it. And then a separate study that we found by a third party released in August of last year showed that 52% of travel searches are also done on a mobile device. So this is really relevant to our clients who are primarily vacation rental managers. We know that the majority of travel searches are at least initially done on a mobile device. So Google has been very clear in stating that they recommend a responsive site. So this, with a responsive site, the content is the same page to page on a desktop as it is on a mobile device. As the screen size changes, the page layout is going to change to make it easier to read on different device sizes, but the content remains the same. It's not a separate website. If you're a Bluetent user, you actually really have nothing to worry about. Both Cloud and Pro, our ResFusion platforms, are built using responsive design. If you're not on a responsive site, you'll want to make sure the content is similar between the mobile MDOT and the desktop versions of your site so that you don't miss out on the chance to rank for terms and content that your desktop site had previously ranked for. And if you've been thinking about upgrading to a responsive website, now really might be the time to think about investing in that. It wouldn't be a bad idea at all. So Google has said that this shouldn't change the overall rankings much, but really only time will tell. Google will be testing and rolling out this update over the next several months, over the next year. We haven't seen much impact in rankings yet, but surely you want to do your homework now and do your due diligence now and making sure that your site is crawlable on both versions. Make sure that mobile version of your site is up to par. One tip we have is Google Search Console has the fetch and render tool. So if you use this, you can make sure that Google can see the same content on mobile versus desktop. So go to Google Search Console, get the fetch and render tool up, set it to mobile smartphone version of your site, and take a look at what Google can see. They'll show you if they're not able to see certain content on the page. Then they'll give you some tips on how to fix that. So if content is missing, look into that, fix it, run the tool again, and make sure you're okay. It would also be smart to start looking into your mobile page speed scores, and if there is low-hanging fruit there and little adjustments you can make to improve that page speed score, that's definitely worth doing. So let us know if you have any questions about the mobile usability of your site and whether or not Googlebot can crawl all parts of your mobile site, because that is going to be really important going forward. Okay, topic number 2, Google Posts. So Google Posts are again, they're not brand new, but they've evolved a little bit over time, and we think they're really important and kind of low-hanging fruit in your SEO strategy. So let's start from the beginning here. Earlier this summer, Google announced a new way to make your business stand out in the search results, and they called it Google Posts. Local businesses can now post timely, relevant information that shows up immediately in Google Search and in Google Maps. The only catch is that you need to be verified as a local business and be set up in Google My Business, which is easy. We can help you with that if you're not sure of how to go about that. Posts were actually initially launched in January of 2016, and they were called candidate cards. Those were for political search queries. So they've evolved since then, and later that year, Google rolled posts out to just a select group of small businesses as a test. So we weren't really involved in that testing. I don't think we had Google Posts available for any of our clients. So now in June of this year, that was when Google stated that posts would be rolled out to all business categories. Now, I still am seeing a few clients in our Google My Business account that don't have posts available, even though they're the same category as other clients. So I believe that it's still rolling out, but most businesses out there should have the ability to post now. So I think this is a great new Google feature that local businesses, and especially vacation rental managers, which the majority of our clients are, should be taking advantage of. Posts are a cool way to engage with guests and customers that already know about you, and then they're also a new way to help attract and get click-throughs to your site from new guests or new customers. So there's a few key ways that I would recommend using Google Posts. Sharing an event. There's actually a specific category for events when you go to posts, so that's a great way to use these. They're also really nice for promoting a special or a deal, and you can drive people directly to that landing page to make a conversion even easier. A great way to let users know about a new property you have in your inventory, or if you're not in the VR industry, maybe just a new product that you're offering. Great way to get newsletter subscribers, so you can actually post maybe some reasons for following your newsletter and drive people directly to that landing page to sign up. And then just a nice way to teach people more about your business. Tell them how long you've been in business, that you're locally owned and family operated, or whatever it is. Or perhaps there's news to share about your business. Use posts for that. So let's look a little bit at how they work. You've got to be able to log into Google My Business. And again, if you haven't set that up for your business, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to help you get that set up and verified and off and running. But once you're logged into Google My Business, on the left-hand side, you should see a tab called Posts. And for most people, you've got that new flag that pops up as well, even if you've been using Posts now for a couple months. So that draws attention to it. Click on Posts, and from there, you're going to have a few different options and ways that you can build that post out. First, it's going to ask you to add an image. Make sure you add a nice, clear, high-quality image there. You then have 100 to 300 words you can add as your post. So get something compelling and interesting in there, kind of, the same thought process behind an AdWords ad or a meta description, and entice people to click through. Then you can indicate if it's an event, and that will give you a series of steps as well to give a start and an end date and a little more information there. And then I think this is a good idea to add. You can add a call to action button. So there are 4 options there: reserve, sign up, buy, and get offer. And then you've got a space for your website link. So keep those fresh and start playing around with it. The posts will show up in immediately in the search results, like I said before, and they'll show up in Google Maps and in the local search results. So most likely, if someone's searching for your brand, that's where you'll see them. On the right, here's an example of what they look like on a mobile device, and I did a search for one of our clients' Blackcomb Peaks accommodations, and one of the recent posts about a new vacation rental showed up with a Learn More button that takes you right to that vacation rental. Posts expire in 7 days, so definitely want to keep them fresh. And Google is nice in that they will send an email to the email address that's linked to your Google My Business page, and they'll let you know when that post is about to expire. So if you happen to forget to add a new one, they will remind you. They want people using this, and they want those to be fresh and timely and relevant. So keep those up to date. Also, in the back end, here in your Google My Business account, you'll see your most recent post, and it's going to show you impressions. So that's really helpful to see how many people actually saw your post. So it also is going to show you the number of clicks that you received on the post. But we have a tip there. We've determined, and a number of other people have put this out there on the web, that the clicks metric that Google shows doesn't seem to be reliable. It almost always shows 0 or far fewer clicks than we actually saw. So go to a UTM tracking parameter tool, create a link with UTM parameters so that you can actually track the clicks on the post in campaigns in Google Analytics. That's going to be a much more reliable way to see how many clicks you got, and then you can actually see if the user converted and what people are doing when they're clicking over from these posts. So this is a newish tool out there from Google, and highly recommend taking advantage of it. So now the question is, what are these posts for? We talked about that they're a great way to kind of call attention to your business, manipulate the search results to show something that you have control over in the search results. But we're always trying to improve rankings as well. Do Google posts affect your local rankings? Google hasn't come out and said anything about that, of course, but Search Engine Land actually conducted a study recently to see if they could find out what happened when they frequently posted or frequently put up Google posts. So they picked 2 small local businesses completely at random. One was a church, and the other was like a garage flooring company. And they set a date, and they created a post for those businesses every 7 days for, I think it was about 2 months. And they did fine after the 2 months, and then onward after that period, that both did see improved local search rankings. So that was pretty cool. I mean, these 2 businesses were in very low competition areas, so it's pretty hard to know if there was a direct correlation there. Obviously, our vacation rental clients are in a highly, highly competitive search space, but at the end of the day, whether whether we're guaranteed that they improve your rankings or not. It's a Google tool. We typically recommend doing anything that Google suggests doing. Even if these are, they're a low impact, low effort tactic. So why not add it to your search strategy? And they could end up being a more high impact effort, down the road. So give it a try. If you're not sure how to get started, just let us know. We'd be happy to set you up in Google My Business and walk you through that tool. All right, lastly, let's take a look at Yelp. And I'm a little sarcastic in saying that it's everyone's favorite review platform. Yelp is always a hot topic in the digital world. Yelp is, primarily known for angry restaurant reviews, it seems, and angry business reviews. But it's a big review platform out there. It's one of the beasts that we have to work with either way. So reviews are incredibly important. They're an incredibly important part of the e-commerce landscape. If you're an e-commerce digital business, reviews are kind of a necessary evil. And in the vacation rental industry in particular, when booking an alternative accommodation, people want to read what others have said about it. It's much, much different from booking a hotel with, a hotel chain that you know of and have stayed with in the past. A vacation rental might have, very unique furniture, appliances, entry and check-in experience, neighbors to be aware of. There's a lot of things that are kind of unknown when you book a vacation rental. So reviews are a huge factor in helping our clients get bookings. And, soliciting reviews has just always been a part of the game. You're always going to get those angry reviewers out there. So it's pretty important to be reaching out to your loyal guests that stay with you year after year and make sure that they're sharing those true experiences that they're seeing. Because, the angry reviewer with a broken pool or a dirty bathroom, you don't want that to completely sabotage your actual business experience there. So many businesses do encourage and reward users for leaving reviews. Yelp is one of the more well-known review sites out there, but there are a number of online directories and search sites that publish user reviews besides Yelp. So we've got Google, TripAdvisor, Flipkey, Expedia, HomeAway, Facebook, a bunch of others. So all of these sites do encourage honest, unbiased reviews, but Yelp has notoriously been the most strict when it comes to their review policy. So let's take a look at what is considered a violation of Yelp's review policy. Just flat out asking for reviews, something that I just mentioned most of our clients do, and it works just fine for them. Sending out surveys for reviews, offering discounts or gifts in exchange for leaving a review. That's a very common tactic that I know of. And allowing staff to compete to collect reviews. So those are all in violation. Now we just learned that it appears that Yelp is also cracking down on some other companies. So there are a handful and more each year of reputation management companies out there, and they will help businesses monitor reviews. When you've got reviews on a dozen different platforms across the web, how can you possibly keep up to date on responding to the reviews that had issues with your business or thanking happy reviewers? So these companies will compile all of your reviews and allow you to respond and address those in an efficient manner. But they also have various tools and will use APIs to help you gather reviews more efficiently. And Yelp is not happy with those businesses these days. So here was an actual message that Yelp sent one of these reputation management companies recently. They said, "Hello, you are putting your client's online reputation at risk by soliciting Yelp reviews on their behalf. Beginning this month, we are contacting local businesses that solicit reviews on Yelp to highlight that asking for reviews violates our policies. We explain that engaging in this practice may result in demotion in Yelp search results. Soliciting reviews for your clients is an illicit tactic that biases their online reputations and search rankings, thus harming consumers, other businesses, and the overall review ecosystem. So, pretty harsh message from Yelp, and they're pretty clear that they don't want you asking for reviews from guests, and they also don't want you working with reputation management companies that ask on your behalf. So, definitely something to be mindful of if you are asking for reviews and working within Yelp. What's interesting is Google is taking a pretty different stance, almost the opposite stance, with their new local guides program. And they're actually incentivizing people with special deals and offers for leaving reviews more frequently. So you can be rewarded if you're an active reviewer on Google's local guides program. So I like it. I think it'll be an interesting comparison to see how that performs versus Yelp. But we actually will be diving into Google's local guides platform next month. But yeah, in the meantime, be careful with Yelp, and they're definitely watching what you're doing there. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions at all, my email address is here on this slide, bryn@bluetent.com. Otherwise, feel free to submit a question through the Bluetent contact form, and we'd love to help you out. Or if you're not a Bluetent SEO client, we'd love to start working with you in some capacity. So thanks for your time.